Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to my channel. This is another process video for Off the Board where I am going to use this sketch, and it is a double page spread. Now, I brought my camera down just a little bit closer and then I realized that it's a little bit too close, so I'm still working on getting this kind of situated after I got the new my new tripod that sits with my desk this time, so that you guys can see more of an overview versus like a slanted view. And I'm still working on it, so I'm sorry that you can't quite see everything, but I do make sure that I do try to put one page over the other. But as you can see that I'm still working in my trip to Cuba. This is the second to the last double page spread for the part of being on the airboat trip part of Miami before we got on to the actual Cuba trip itself, and then onto the cruise and everything. So this is at the airport, or the airboat like little place that you could go and ride the airboats and everything. These are the pictures of the alligator, and some of the photos I'm waiting to get onto the onto the airboat. Yeah, the airboat trip. I had to think of which set I was doing. And so what I am doing is that I am using the Vicky Boutin collection, obviously, as you can tell there. And yes, it does look like I left this page together, but I promise you I do cut it and whatnot. But it helped keeping with that branding strip. Those two branding strips, it helped kept it together so that I could be able to make sure I could measure correctly and all of that. I will tell you, doing 2-page spreads and trying to stay on camera, that is a challenge in itself. So the ladies that do 2-page spreads all the time, I commend y'all, because I'm like on a struggle bus. I just want to make sure that everything looks, so that you guys can see the whole process. But I mean, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm on a struggle bus trying to keep everything in camera and in view when I'm so used to doing just like one layout. But even though that it may be like a 2-page spread, but I normally do complimentary pages. So yeah, I was like, man, this is like a struggle for me, but I think I'm getting better at it. So comment down below and let me know if everything is like better the way I've been doing my 2-page spreads, because by all means, it's like a whole new spectrum for me. So I am scrapbooking a little bit of this camera. I am scrapbooking with a couple of friends, obviously, with the good old way the world is right now. I've been like scrapbooking with friends and whatnot. So sometimes you may see the pages just up, move and whatnot. But the 3 photos that are going down the page there, that is, I must have had to stop the camera. Sorry about that. Those 3 pictures that are down the camera right there are, as me waiting, there is a little like boat dock that we could sit and or you could stand and wait for, your number to be called to be able to go on the boat rides or the airboat trip little thing that they have there that we purchased to pay for. And then this picture of this boat that I have sitting there, that's the 4x4 page picture. That is one of them that was just sitting there, and it was on the dock that I was. And I just loved the way it looked. It was just gorgeous. I just loved it. And then the other 2 photos are of this little rink-a-dink alligator that we could touch. And this was during the little, like how they were talking about all the alligators and how the Everglades are and things like that. And they do have snakes and big alligators, like refuged alligators there that got hurt in a wild. And I think if I remember correctly, golly, it's been a couple of years since I've been, since we've been down there. But if I remember correctly, I think some of the like when the forestry and those gentlemen find like hurt alligators and stuff, they may bring them here if they've got space to keep them, you know, alive and whatnot, and get them back to strength in the hopes of being able to take them and set them free and all that kind of stuff. So there was a couple of them. There was a couple of like what they call boyfriend girlfriends and stuff in there to get little alligators to, you know, let go. And then obviously you could see other alligators just to come up. Like there's spots where we just saw free roaming wild type alligators just there having fun because they, you know, heard the call of the other alligators that are there, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed going to do this part of it, and I just love the Everglades in general. Just being out there on the airboat and all of that stuff was a lot of fun. So the lily pads is the top one. The bottom one, you can't quite see it in the photo while we're on here, but there is an alligator that is on that bottom one that I wanted to put in this spread as well. That was just roaming. It literally, where I was sitting to take that photo of my feet being kind of on top of the lily pads that were there, that alligator was right next to it, like right across, like I could see it. It was pretty cool. And he was just strolling, he or she was just strolling along. So I'm just calling this Everyday Explorer because since I have lived in Europe, I just love to explore new things, go out and do new things, and hope that I can still keep doing all of this, you know, even when we get old and whatever else have you. I just love doing this. So I am calling this Everyday Explorer, and then also I've got that other title that says New View, obviously, but then there's the butterflies going kind of up along the top there and whatnot, and this postcard. So it's going to be kind of funny. I do have one of the still shots that you will see at the end of the video here of like kind of like my address. It's the address says home 1234 something or another, Fort Gordon, Georgia, and then some random zip code. And I just wrote a little bit of a thing about like what we did on that day, but it's kind of like the postcard going home and whatnot. So I thought that was kind of fun. And this was actually day 2, so that's why I thought that it would be perfect to put up there in the corner, because this was day 2 for us on this trip. The first day, obviously, it was us taking 8 hours to get down to Miami, and you guys have already seen the 2-page spread of where I went to go eat that night. And this here was, we were departing from Miami, I think at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we had plenty of time in the morning to go and do all of this before we got on the boat. Or the cruise ship, I should say. So we did this in the morning and then went to the cruise ship and got ourselves, you know, kind of ready to go through, checkpoint and all that stuff, because you did have to do your, you had to show, you had to go through like customs essentially to get onto the boat, because we were going to 2 countries. 2 new countries that were not part of the United States. One was Cuba, and then when we went to the island that Norwegian Airlines own in the Bahamas, that also is another country that we had to make sure that we were okay to go into and be able to, that everything was current and we weren't on this boat on a bad passport. So yeah, so now I'm just putting in all the butterflies and all of these little cute little flowers and everything. And the collections that I'm using for Vicki Boutin on most of this is, okay, sorry about that. So I am using the collections of some of the, I think, Kaleidoscope, and then the honey and Wildflower and Honey or Honey and Wildflower, that one. So that is what I'm using there. Sorry for my head right there. But I am just using up as much as I possibly can of these little guys. And they're just little notations that I felt that was perfect for just this style of 2-page spread. So make sure that you go check out everybody. Down below is everybody that is listed along with the Pinterest pin to the sketch, and the sketch is from Stick It Down. That is who I use. I do normally upload between 2 to 3 times a week. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I would love to have you. I do traveler's notebooks, design team layouts, collaborations, double page spreads, single page spreads, 12 by 12s, and traveler's notebook. And I would love to have you. I love to see all of the comments. I do comment back almost on everything. I do try to go back and comment on like the last few weeks because I know everybody is checking these out as they go, but I do love it. I'm adding a bunch of little stars along this one and just kind of placing a couple flowers here and there, and then that is about it. The splatters, I am coming in with silver this time, and it is concrete shimmerings. The still shots are coming up. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I would love to have you, and I hope you guys are all staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!